just trying to de-escalate the situation because I couldn't get out. I didn't know where to go. I couldn't even just leave. Like, all I wanted to do was just leave. I just wanted nothing to do with that.
Do you know what she hit her head on? Was it the floor or?
I don't know. She just fell, and then she wasn't responsive after that.
What you just heard is a man attempting to explain away the disappearance of a woman he claimed to have once loved. The woman at the center of this story was Tricia Todd, a registered nurse, a devoted mother, and by every account, someone who had built a quiet, stable life in Hobe Sound, Florida. She was not the kind of person who simply vanished. She was the kind of person who left groceries on the counter, still in the bags, because she had been expecting to come back home. She never did. And the man in that interrogation room, the father of her child, her ex-husband, had a lot to answer for. This is the story of what happened to Tricia Todd, told through the words of the man who took everything from her.
Search for a missing Florida mom, gone for more than a week now.
Police say she disappeared without a trace, and they are grasping for leads to try and help track her down.
The information that they got was that you had been down there and had recently seen her. Yeah, so obviously they're talking to everybody that's had any contact with her during, during that period of time.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not gonna come here being an asshole right now. So like, look, let's get this done, do what needs to be done, and like you said, just move on.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna like, well, I want a lawyer, damn it. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna come in here and do the right thing, and hopefully it gets us closer to finding her. I want my daughter to have her mother. I want her to be found, and hopefully she is okay. Because I feel like I'm living a TV drama right now. Like, oh, the ex-husband comes to town, and all of a sudden the ex-wife goes missing. Great, that's freaking awesome. That's what I want to do. Because that doesn't seem awkward or suspicious to anybody. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, I get it. So I text her, like, hey, making super stuff fussy. I know it's late, but if you're up kind of thing, like, would you mind coming to comic her or whatever? And then she would text back, like, on my way. Awesome. So a few minutes go by, she comes over. She sits with Faith. Faith is happy now. 12:30, 1 o'clock by now.
Probably.
Yeah. She leaves. Faith is asleep. And then, well, she didn't leave, actually, since her car was out of gas. Which, that really frustrates me. That's her thing. Her car never has gas in it. She mentioned there's a gas station up the street. And I was like, you know what, gas stations, gas cans, you got any money, I'll just drive my car, I'll go get you a gas can. It's just gas, no big deal. So she gives me a 20, I leave, the gas station's maybe a half mile down. Get the gas can, pay for it, get 2 gallons of gas, leave, put the gas in her car, and then I told her good night, basically. I'll contact you tomorrow, you can call me or whatever. That's it.
That was the story Stephen Williams told when police first came knocking. Clean, cooperative, almost too neat. He was the concerned ex-husband who just wanted his daughter to have her mother back. He even volunteered to take a polygraph test. And according to authorities, he passed. Law enforcement publicly stated that no physical evidence or witness testimony linked Stephen Williams to Tricia's disappearance. He was removed from the list of suspects. But that would not last long, because buried in Tricia's private journal was a version of Stephen Williams that nobody outside her closest circle had ever seen. And it would change everything.
A lot going for you. You're good looking, you're young, you got your shit straight, and you got this crazy, batshit crazy ex. She's come after you before. Did she come after you that night? Something happened, and you were just, oh shit, what do I do now?
No, she never came after me, nothing.
It's an overwhelming amount of evidence pointing at you. So help me continue painting this picture of you. I don't want to portray Stephen as some cold-blooded killer. Stephen, it's okay. Okay. You're so tense, you just relax. Okay? I just need to know where she's at, Stephen.
I don't know where she is.
Stephen, you know where she's at.
I don't. I really don't.
Do you remember taking her car and leaving? Yes or no? I need you to work with me. I need to tell them that you're being 100% honest with me.
First time I left,
Okay?
she asked me to go back and get her laptop so she could keep I said, okay, you and Faith are here. She's happy, so that you don't have to leave. And she freaks out. I'll go.
Okay.
So I leave.
Makes sense. She
The
was
car
overwhelmed.
barely had any gas, and I'm thinking I can make it, but it doesn't look like it. I just turn around and go back. When I came back, she was lying on the floor, and she wasn't very responsive. And I kind of freaked out because I'm like, oh my God, now she's lying on the floor. She's not responsive, and this looks really bad because I can't explain this. She's breathing, but she's not responding. And so I just put her in the car, and I'm just driving and thinking.
That she passed away in that car. There was nothing you did to her. She just passed away. And then you freaked out even more. Is that fair to say? Like, did you just lay her down somewhere out in the open?
Yes, but just let her lay there, so peaceful. You're just lying there, and you're breathing shallow. I can't call.
Dana,
I don't know where the hell I even am.
we had already determined that she had passed while she was in the car. You can't go backwards. Tell me she was shallow breathing.
Shallow. It was really shallow. I was hoping she would just snap out of it, just come back.
Tom Backel.
Hi.
Oh, we haven't met yet. What's your name?
Stephen Williams.
Stephen. With a P or a V? V? Okay. I just got a couple questions. I've had an opportunity to listen to some of your statements to Jesse today. I haven't been involved from the very beginning, and there's just a couple of things in my mind I need to clear up. So if you don't mind answering a couple of questions, I'd appreciate it. Do you mind talking to me?
Sure.
Okay. And you've been very cooperative, and I understand you flew down here with these guys, and I guess you even stayed in the same hotel room and so forth on the way down. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And they told you all of your rights and everything, and you've indicated that you have no problem cooperating with them. Is that how you feel about this?
Yes.
Okay. And certainly I appreciate that. I assume that what you're trying to do is put this all behind you. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. So the only thing I heard you and Jesse talking about as I just got here was obviously the night that your ex-wife disappeared, but there was something that you had mentioned about kind of referring to drama or her being dramatic. Can you kind of expound on that for me? Because I'm not quite sure I follow what you meant, that she talked a lot and was kind of dramatic. Tell me what you mean by that.
She's always overly dramatic in her storytelling. Everything's bigger than what it really was. Everything was more exciting than it really was. But that's just how she is. That's how she likes to embellish her stories.
It's a redhead.
And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. Once again, divorce. I have my own life. You have your own life. If you want to embellish your stories now, embellish your. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
Right. Tricia knew you were coming?
Yeah, we discussed it. I told her when I would be there, and I only plan to stay 3 to 4 days. And just like in the past, our schedule is always very fluid. We never made like, hey, you're going to be here at this time. We're going to meet at this place. It's always just been like, hey, let me know when you get here.
Right.
You can come get Faith. And the same for dropping her off. It's always just been the same way. Just let me know. Send me a message. Give me a call. It's always been that way. It's always been really easy and, nice that we don't have this like super strict regimen of like, this is how it has to be. So
On the surface, Stephen Williams came across as a reasonable man, laid back, non-confrontational. Someone who had moved on from the marriage and was simply trying to be present in his daughter's life. He spoke about Tricia in a way that was just dismissive enough to plant seeds of doubt about her character without appearing overtly hostile. He talked about her as someone dramatic, erratic, difficult over the phone, but pleasant in person, and in doing so, he was carefully and deliberately building a portrait not of himself as a killer, but of Tricia as someone unstable, someone who might simply disappear. What he didn't know was that detectives had already been reading Tricia's journal, and the picture it painted was the opposite of what Stephen was selling. In it, Tricia described a man capable of serious harm, a man who had been physically abusive during their marriage and had even harmed animals in front of her to assert control. The calm man sitting across from the detective was not who he claimed to be.
Right. Well, and that's an interesting point to me. To understand the dynamics of your relationship. I know people get divorced for any number of reasons, but the dynamics of your relationship post, I don't even want to call it divorce because you were separated for a longer period of time, that was fairly amicable. I mean, you all got along?
Sometimes. I don't know why, but whenever we were in person, she was very nice and very amicable.
Yeah.
But anytime, like via Skype or over the phone, she was a different person. It was more of a, you need to do this and you have to do that and you owe me this. And I'm thinking, I don't owe you anything. Like, I've given you everything I'm supposed to. I've done everything I'm supposed to do and then some. And I don't know why you feel like I still owe you something or why I'm still obligated to do something for you.
Do you think she acted differently when you would be not face to face versus when you were on the internet? I don't know any about that Skype nonsense.
I don't know. Like, me and Laura always because Laura was there for some of our Skype sessions and she would see how she would just act. She just wasn't the same person over Skype. And I told her, like, when I'm there, she's never like this. Like, she doesn't act that way. She doesn't act this full of herself. Mightier than thou kind of, like, she doesn't act like that when I'm in person with her. And I don't understand that. Why over electronic means or whatever, you're just not the same.
You ever hear of the concept of beer muscles? Do you know what beer muscles are? You're in the military, you got to know. You don't? No. You know how some guys drink and they get mouthy and they get aggressive and they, you know what I mean? They call that beer muscles. So they might not act like that when they're not drinking. Do you think that she felt like she could treat you poorly when you all weren't face to face? You know, she didn't have to worry about maybe any physical repercussions or getting into any, problems with you when you're over the internet? Do you think that could be it?
It was just more of her trying to push buttons because she can. She likes to get a rise out of me and anyone, honestly. Like I said, even when we first got married, she would talk, when she did talk to my mom, because my mom didn't like her at first either, she would just say, like, off the topic things to get a rise out of my mom. And my mom, of course, wouldn't react. I told her, like, if you know me, you know my mom. It's the same.
What kind of things would she say to you, or could she say to you that would get a rise out of you?
There was one example where I told her, like, hey, I'm going to, like, it's been 3 months now. I've been paying for your cell phone. Look, this is done. Like, you're not coming back. I've asked you to come back. You're not. That's fine. I'm turning off the cell phone. Like, there's no reason why I still need to continue paying for your cell phone when you're clearly not coming back here. And so I told her, like, hey, you have until this date, which was more than even a month, to make other arrangements, transfer the number, do whatever you want to do. But after this time, that phone won't be on anymore. And just the backlash I got about how I owed her and I should still be paying her cell phone bill. And I'm thinking, like, I don't owe you a cell phone bill. Like, you have a job, you're working, you have...
How long had you been separated when that happened?
Maybe 4 months or so.
Okay.
And it was just like, I've been paying it all this time and I didn't complain. I didn't say anything. But now it's getting to a point where I'm like, why am I still paying your cell phone bill when this is clearly the route we're going here? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Did you feel like most of the time in your relationship when things got difficult or heated, it always had something to do with money? I think you and I have been talking for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Money's come up 4 or 5 times, and that always happens in divorce situations.
It was one of the many issues that we argued about. Just, it was always a circle of things, same arguments. It just got to the point where there were no safe topics in the home, and I just decided I was done. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in a miserable home where every time I open my mouth, we're arguing, and it didn't seem to matter about what it was, And I just be home with one parent than to grow up in a miserable home with 2 parents where they fight and yell all the time.
In these period of years after the separation arguments, once you all aren't living together anymore, I understand once you're in a relationship that doesn't work, there's no fixing it, and I get what you're saying there. But in terms of disputes or disagreements you all would have post separation, did you find that they were always or primarily about money?
No, the only thing we really argued about was it upset me that she didn't prioritize that. In her mind, it was more, but if I don't, then sorry for you. And I'm like, all I'm asking for is 10 to 15 minutes, Monday through Friday. That's it. And if you need to move the time, let me know. If you know you're not going to be there at 5, don't wait till 5:50 something to tell me you're not going to come online. Tell me at 3, tell me at noon. Just tell me, hey, today's not a good day. Then can we try again tomorrow? Fine. I'm very flexible that way.
Don't string me along.
But yeah, I'll tell her, like, hey, I'm online. And then she'll be like, oh, 10 minutes. Okay, I'll wait 10 minutes. 30 minutes will go by. Oh, I'll be on in 5. Another 20 minutes go by. Okay, try again tomorrow. It got to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to bother even getting upset. I'll just try again tomorrow.
So you're down, you got this place for how many days you haven't booked for?
I booked it for the week, and that's because when I originally booked it, which was much earlier than when I came down, I didn't know exactly how long I'd be there. I knew I didn't plan to stay the whole week, but most people, when you're sending your request, you're requesting so many days, and they have to approve it. Well, in the past, when I tried a bunch of different people first, most people don't want 2 to 3 days. They want you to do 4 to 5 days. So I was like, hey, if I just request 4 to 5 days and I don't take all 4 to 5 days, whatever. Especially because when I looked at it, it was at a super low rate of like $67. When prior to this date, when I booked it, it was over $100 a day. And I'm like, well, this is a deal. I'm already getting it for half of what I was already going to pay for. So the 2 days that I don't plan on staying here, if I don't stay, I don't even care. Like, I already booked it for half of what
Still cheaper than the 100 or whatever it was before.
Exactly.
I got you.
It was cheaper than any hotel, and I didn't want to do a hotel.
So before you come down, do you call Tricia and say, I'm coming from April, whatever, 24th?
We talked via Skype. I told her when I would be there.
Okay. And did you intend to have time that you were here?
The time frame that I was going to be here, I told her, just like I always do. The time together, she stays with me unless there's an issue, which there usually isn't. There was a time in the past where there was, and I took her back to her mom's house, and that was fine.
Okay. It's all set up. When is the first day what's the first day you get her? April?
It was Monday. I came down.
What is it? Yeah, help me out. 25th. Okay, Monday the 20th. I'm going to take a note because I get lost.
What this detective was doing quietly, without alerting Stephen, was building a map. Every mention of money, every complaint about Tricia's behavior, every grievance aired in that room was being filed away. Because investigators had already found something that shattered Stephen's narrative of the amicable ex-husband. Witnesses had reported seeing a man matching Stephen's description driving away from the Airbnb in Tricia's car, a white Dodge Neon, sometime after she was last seen. Tricia's car, not his, and the CCTV footage from the gas station, which Stephen himself had described in his original story, told a very specific timeline. The detectives now had more than enough reason to believe that the story about the gas run and the laptop and the fallen woman was not a story about an accident. It was a story about cover.
All right, so you come down, you pick her up on Monday the 25th.
Yes.
Was had Tricia told you that she was ill at that time, or no?
No, I had no inclination that she was an
First picked her up on the 25th?
She just had a stuffy and she was a little congested, but I was hoping it was just minor, nothing big.
Okay.
I didn't realize how bad it was.
So you came down here in the car that I saw in the video at the gas station. What is that? Red? Was it red?
Ford Fusion.
What is that? What kind of car is that?
Red Ford Fusion.
That's your car?
Yes.
Okay. You drove down in that?
Yes.
Okay. Pack light, pack heavy. How did you prepare for what was your...
I packed a small suitcase because it fit in the trunk, and then I packed another bag just for extra clothes. I always try to pack a little extra just because crap happens, or if I did stay longer than I expected, whatever, I had a few extra clothes, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to have access to the washer and dryer that were there. I didn't know that those...
Yeah.
It said that, but I've been in a place before where they say they have a washer and dryer, and you get there and you're like, it's here, but... I think it's another story. Yeah, that or you got to get a key, and the key is at this person's place. And
you strike me as a kind of fastidious guy, very organized and neat. And are you kind of a neat freak type person, you think?
No, I try to be clean, but that's about it.
Okay. So you say you packed a bag, like a suitcase bag with wheels on it? What kind of bag?
It's a small... I think it's an American airline bag, actually.
And I know in all of your cooperation, you let them go in your house, you've let them search, you've done everything that they've asked. You've been completely and utterly cooperative. Is that bag up at your house now in Raleigh?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So time in the afternoon on Monday the 25th, do you think you pick her up?
I don't even remember what time it was.
Well, how long of a drive is it from Raleigh?
Oh, from Raleigh? I came down Sunday.
Okay.
I came down the day before, and that was a last minute decision because Laura was like, hey, if you drive down and get there Monday, it's like 10 plus hours. So, you're going to drive 10 hours and then pick up your daughter and have to, spend time with her and everything. You're going to be exhausted. So she suggested that I drive down Sunday, get a hotel, sleep the night, and then Monday go get her. And I was like, that doesn't make much more sense.
Okay.
And literally on the road down, I booked the hotel, that Fairfield, it was $60-something, but I had some credits through Expedia, so I made it $34 for
You're like a wheeler dealer guy. You got the bed and
well, that was just from
Airbnb.
all credits, and it said you can apply these credits. And I was like, well, sweet.
All right. So what afternoon, before lunch, after
Picked
lunch?
her up in the afternoon. I remember because I came over in the morning to get the home,
Okay.
and at 9, because Candy on her site says, check-in's at 9, so I showed up a little before 9. And then I messaged her to ask, well, how do I gain access? Where's the key? Are you coming over? Like, what's your routine? I don't know. And I probably should have asked you beforehand until, instead of wait till now. A few minutes go by, and then she messages me back and says, like, oh, she wasn't even sure if the current people were gone yet. And I was like, oh, that's awkward. And then on top of that, she hadn't had time to clean yet. And that she would be done hopefully by 11 something or whatever. And I was like, well, I don't really want to stand here while you clean. That's just awkward. Even in a hotel, I don't just stand there while they're cleaning.
Yeah, but you're willing to go to one of these places and stay in the house with the owner of the place.
Well, I don't want to
awkward.
stand over her shoulder while she's
right.
like making the bed or
I
cleaning
got
the
you.
toilet. So I figured I would just leave. I needed to do some shopping because the other benefit to Airbnb is it's a full home, so I can have food, I can cook, whatever. It's no big deal. Whereas in a hotel, I have to eat out, and even then, it's just cramped. And
Overtly, she didn't seem to be very, very sick.
Even that day, she was
Okay.
running around the backyard.
When did she first get sick then?
She was already sick. She just wasn't that bad off. I didn't realize how bad it was, I guess, the Monday. Because like I said, she was
Okay.
just congested and stuff.
When was the trip to the hospital though? Didn't you and Tricia?
That was the next night.
Okay, so now we're on Tuesday the 26th. You gotta keep me on my times because I'll get screwed up and then I'll confuse you or myself. All right, so Tuesday, go to the hospital,
Yes.
and that's in whose car? Hers or yours?
In hers.
Okay, and hers is a little white. What is it? What's her car?
It's a Dodge Neon.
That's the one we see in the videos with the hubcap or whatever it is, right? Okay. Whose car did you go in? Hers or yours?
Her car.
Her car? That's on Tuesday to the hospital.
Mhm.
And what time do you guys leave the hospital? Do you remember?
I have no idea what time it was. I don't even know what time we went to the hospital. I just remember.
Afternoon, morning,
Well, it was in the evening. I just don't remember time. I wasn't referencing everything. I didn't look at a clock before I did it.
Yeah, I got it.
Beforehand, I was trying to debate with her about going. I was like, we don't need to go because you just gave her some children's Tylenol. Let's wait.
Okay.
If you did give it to her, wait an hour or so or whatever, wait a little longer to see if it has any effect because how else would you know?
Is she kind of, you ever hear the term helicopter parent? What a helicopter parent is?
No, I don't.
Somebody, you should know, come on, man, you're the aircraft guy. It's a parent who kind of hovers over their kids and is very protective and very involved and probably much so, overly so.
Yes and no, because it was the more protective that was more cautious with her. We would, she's capable of walking. And Tricia is, like to that wall, he was all the way over here playing in the water. And I'm like standing in between and I'm like looking at her, like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm sending a message. In the waves, like.
She couldn't swim?
Right. She doesn't understand waves. If one comes in and she obviously will be able to time. Like, there she goes. And I'm thinking, like, are you kidding me? So I pick her up and I bring her back, to the shore where she's not going to get sucked into the ocean or whatever.
Right.
But it was just always like, I was always the more cautious parent where she kind of just had that laissez-faire, it'll be okay kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't do that. Things happen.
So, better?
No.
No?
She was still really lethargic, very quiet. She didn't really talk or communicate much. She just wasn't herself. She just kind of sat there. She wouldn't even really answer you when you asked her questions.
Okay, is that the night then, as we talk about the evening of the 26th after the hospital, is that the night that Tricia comes over to the place you're staying at? This is all the same day?
Well, there's 2 different days. She came over Monday night as well, though.
Okay.
But Monday night was after I texted her and I said, hey, books. I don't have any toys. I don't have anything. I don't have any way to entertain her other than television. And I don't want to sit there and just pop her in front of the TV all day. That's just silly.
Okay.
You know? I didn't even have like coloring books. So she says, okay, when I get off work, I'll bring you some. And I thought, great, they'll bring me some toys, not a big deal. And when she came over, she brought like a bucket that had a bunch of toys in it. I was like, perfect. And she stayed and talked about her possible love interest and all that. And I'm thinking,
how did that make you feel? Okay, so it's only the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Any conflicts, any arguments, any disputes, any disagreements?
Like I said, when we're face to face in
Right.
person, she's not the same person, basically.
Okay.
She's very sweet and how are you? And oh, you look
Okay.
nice today. And, you know, just complimenting me. Oh, looks like you're going to the gym. That's nice. Oh, your outfit's very nice. You know, and it just kind of put me off. Like, why? Like, I would never compliment you. Like, not to be rude, but I'm not going to compliment you.
Be putting on a show in the presence of your child. I mean, that
Maybe.
Okay.
And I remember telling my mom about it. And then my mom told Trish. And I was like, well, that's not my mom anything anymore.
What then, how is it that it is that Trish comes to be back at the, I keep calling it the bed and breakfast, the B&B thing or whatever it is?
Because when she got tired, she said, where's mommy?
Yeah.
And I told her, mommy's at her house. And she says, well, I want mommy. And I said, well, mommy, we'll see you tomorrow. Or, you know, I'll take you to mommy's house tomorrow. Just trying to help her understand, like, you know, it's just me and you. You're fine. And she just kind of kept saying, I want mommy. And I'm thinking, well, I guess I get it. You did just see the both of us together. And in the past, Tricia mentioned that, what's it going to be, a Skype, you know, pictures of us together. And, you know, she wanted to keep this photo out of the two of us. And I was like, well, yeah, it'd be a little awkward. I get why you wouldn't, you know, a photo of the two of us together. Whatever. And so I was like, well, I guess that makes sense. You know, you saw us together. This is, you know, I guess kids naturally want their mommy and their daddy to be in the same place. So I told Trish, which once again in the past, she let me know, I'll come get her. And in the past, we're like right down the street, so I'll just message her and you can just come get her, and then she'll be happy.
So your plan was to have home with her?
Then yes, if she was just going to be up and antsy, then yeah, you could just take her and go back home. But I still wanted to spend time with her the next day because I wasn't leaving till that afternoon.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you just say, look, you know, mommy's doing her thing. You get to spend some time with me. And why bring Tricia back over? I mean, just, it seems to me the last person you want to have any dealings with when you're down here with your daughter is your ex-wife.
Well, to an and
Okay.
to me, I thought, who am I to deny my daughter her mother? I'm not going to tell you, no, go to bed. You know, like, it's your mom.
Okay, so we know exactly what time that text is, and that's at what? 12:08. So we're into Wednesday, just so we know we're all on the same days. We're on 4/27 Wednesday. Okay. So when she comes over, what happens? What are you all doing?
She comes over, she comes over on the couch. And so she rushes over and sits with her and she picks her up and they're watching the show that was. And they sit together on the couch and they talk and just, I don't know, just whatever, mom, daughter, like they just sit together, you know?
Okay.
And she's just holding her and sitting on the couch.
Okay, so let's stop here for a moment. Let's stop on April 27th, 12 something in the morning. You got breakfast place. And the last time I heard anything about this case, the last time I had been briefed on anything that happened in this case was 3 weeks ago when everything happened. And you were cooperating with law enforcement and you told them what happened from the 27th on. What did you tell them? Because that what I heard today is not the same as what you told them. What did you tell them the first time you spoke to the cops about what happened that day?
I didn't tell them about her wanting me to go get her laptop.
But what did you tell them? That she just hung out there for a while and was out of gas or something? Tell me about that.
I told them that she came and leave her here.
Okay.
Great. Because I still want to spend time with her. And then I said that she left, and that's when she discovered she didn't have gas.
Okay, so you told them that she went out, got to her car, didn't have gas, and then what, came back?
Yes.
And then you did what?
And then I went around looking for gas through the home.
Okay.
Gas can.
And the guy next door, the Chinese fella or Japanese or whatever, you spoke with him trying to get a gas can from him, that guy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see him over there? Could you see him from where you were standing? Because he saw you all night. He could see you coming and going or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering if, obviously you must have been able to see him because you went over and asked him for a gas can.
No, I didn't see him.
How did you know to go over there and ask for a can?
I heard his phone.
Okay.
He was, I don't know if he was playing a game or messaging someone or something like that. And when I was standing outside, I heard the phone, and I was like, well, perfect. If someone's awake, I can ask them for a gas can, because obviously I'm not going to knock on random people's doors at whatever time of night it is. Ask for a gas can. But if you're awake and you're outside on your porch,
Okay.
sure, I can approach you and hopefully ask for a gas can.
All right. And he didn't speak English, right? They had to bring somebody in to interpret for you?
Right.
And I assume you don't speak.
I didn't know what language it was, obviously. But
All right.
yeah, a woman comes from inside. Yeah, he tells me to hold on, and a woman comes from inside.
He has no gas, so my understanding is then you got in your car with the can, went off and got her a couple of gallons of gas and whatever, right?
I had to purchase it, but yeah.
Okay, right. Well, right.
Yeah.
All right. And you at that time, the video reflects what you were wearing. Do you remember what you were wearing?
Yeah, it was just the same thing I've been sleeping in every night already. It was just a red shirt and some shorts, just because they're comfy.
Okay. All right. So then you go back. Then your story is what after you get the gas?
Then I go back and I put gas in her car,
And then what?
and then she leaves.
Okay. All right. And now, so that was the last time you saw from her, heard from her, had any knowledge of it. That was your story, right?
Yes.
What's then to do to make sure is, look, you got to go back up. You got to talk to Mr. Williams. We got to make sure we got these time frames down. You got to make sure that, and you consistently told that story exactly that way multiple times, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so then today I was surprised when they called me and said, there's some additional stuff that he's adding on. So let's talk a little bit about that, because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And you understand that. I've heard you say in here multiple times, how this is stupid this, stupid that, doesn't make any sense. So I want you and I to make sense of this while we have an opportunity, okay? So now walk me through, Tricia shows up sometime after 12:08, Wednesday, April 27th, 2016. Walk me through that day. Walk me through the events.
All that happens. She sits there, they sit together, they talk and do, mommy, daughter things. I don't sit with them because, once again, she's my ex-wife, and I don't have feelings for her in that way. I don't want to be rubbing shoulders with her, so to speak, So I just kind of stand off and just let her ask me to go get her laptop. And I'm telling her, like, that's stupid. Why would I go get your laptop? And she just kind of kept saying that she falls asleep soon, and then I can still do stuff with her. Otherwise, I got to go pick her up in the morning, and it's just more work. And so I didn't want to argue anymore. I never liked arguing with her, and I just caved and said, fine.
I'm so with you on this whole, it don't make sense. Go get my laptop. I could envision having this conversation with my wife. What are you talking about? Why? What did she need the laptop for? That's what
she just kept saying, work. And even earlier that night when she had it at the hospital, she just kept saying, like, I got to send an email for work. And she just kept saying it over and over, like I'm supposed to know what that means. Or
one email or multiple email? Well, I mean, did it make...
Even at the hospital, I'm like, we're at the hospital with our 2-year-old, and you bring your laptop in to do work. And I'm thinking that couldn't wait. But once again, I don't care. If that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. I've just learned, don't just let it be.
Which laptop was the one she had in the car already?
I don't know. I just know she asked me to go get her work laptop. Okay. And the one she had at the hospital was a black. I don't know what it was. It was black.
Did she have more than one laptop?
As far as I knew, yeah. Because if she was calling that black one her work laptop, then I remember when we separated, she had it used to be my old laptop. It's a silver, I don't know if it was a Dell or HP or something, but she had another laptop.
Okay.
That's what we usually Skype on.
All right, but so, I mean, I get this impression from you that you're this kind of laid back, non-confrontational, chilled guy.
So I try to be, yeah.
But how, like, what in the hell do you need the laptop for?
Just because, listen, after 11 years and before,
what it is she beat you down? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I didn't want all the nonsense from the past. I was just like, you know what? Fine. If it's that important.
Where was the laptop?
She told me it was at home.
Okay, where was she living?
From, once again, prior weeks before, whatever, she had told me, like, hey, in accordance with the, okay, I don't know why it's important, but what are you telling me? She's like, oh, well, this is our new address, or that we moved. And I was like, well, what's the address, please? And then she waited forever. I had to remind her, like, hey, what's this address?
Prior to the morning of April 27th, have you ever been to that new address of hers?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know when I saw the numbers, but I looked it up to see where that even was. You know, when she originally gave it to me, and I saw where it was. I was like, oh, that's where Josh was living. So I took it as Josh moved out and you moved in.
Josh, her brother?
Yes.
Okay.
But after seeing Skype, I'd see that Josh was always there in the background or talking or something like that. And so if almost every day of the week this person is there, it tells me he still lives there, you know, and I didn't really question it. Once again, not my place. It's not my business.
How did you plan on getting the laptop from the house?
Exactly. That's why I was like, this is a stupid idea. Like, I don't even know if he's here. I don't know what his schedule is like. If he is, what do I tell him? Oh, well, your sister, my ex-wife, told me at whatever time it is to come and get her work laptop.
Why didn't you just bring her up? Why didn't you
I didn't even bring my
call
phone. I didn't bring my phone. I
didn't bring your telephone?
Right.
But I'm saying from the bed and breakfast, why not call Josh and say, look, your sister's on my ass. She wants her laptop. I'm running by. Can you just have it ready?
I don't even have his number. I didn't know if he was even there. I didn't know anything other than she.
Well, but she would have had it, right?
Yeah, but I didn't think like that.
Okay,
it was just, I don't want to argue. I'll just go get it. You know, I caved. I'll just go get it.
Okay, so you're driving in that direction. What car do you take?
I take hers.
Okay, and what did you just basically figure you're going to roll up there and knock on the door and say, yo, Josh, it's me, Steven?
Keys to the car, so I imagine I would just use the key if I needed to. But again, I don't even know if he's
Why did you take her car? Why would you have taken her car?
Because her car is blocking my car.
Okay, where was her car parked?
It's just the driveway, so she just pulled in.
Okay, so your car is in front and then she's right behind you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, makes sense. So you back out your drive there and
I get I assumed halfway there or something, and I just decided this is stupid. This doesn't make sense. I don't even know if he is here. What do I say to him? If he's not here, this is still really awkward. And then I'm like, I don't even know where it is in the home. Like, I'm just going to rummage through this place to find some work. All of it just seemed really dumb to me and bad. And so I just turned around. And at that point is when I realized this car has next to no gas.
Okay, so that's when we got your car is on video out in front of what's the name of the place, Jess? When it's turning around?
Stoney's.
Stoney's, do you know what Stoney's is?
No.
Okay, but there's the white car without the hubcap that does a U-turn there. That's going to be you having the epiphany, what the hell am I going to do? I can't get this laptop and going back.
Well, I probably could have, but that just from past instances with her, all I'm thinking is this doesn't make sense. This feels really dumb.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm making a grave error by even being out here right now. It doesn't.
Well, I mean, I think you're being a little dramatic. I mean, not grave error, but
it's just
a stupid idea is what you're saying.
Right. It's this doesn't make sense to come get this laptop now. I should have stood my ground and told her to just wait. But I didn't. You know, I just didn't want to argue because I'd never arguing with her. And I just caved. So I was like, you know what? This is dumb. I'm going back.
Now you're doing the Louis, or you're doing the U-turn and heading back to your place, and that's when you say you notice her car is low on gas?
Yeah, that's when I'm looking, because I made a U-turn.
Yeah, but I mean, shouldn't that light have come on a long time before?
I did her classic thing where I didn't pay attention. I was just annoyed, and I just got in the car and I just drove.
Okay.
And it wasn't until making the U-turn that I'm realizing
you saw it.
This thing has almost no gas.
So here's I try to live in a logical world that makes sense. And basically you have an engineer's type mind. You like everything to be perfect. I mean, when you're working on an airplane, you don't say, well, it looks like this part goes here, right? I mean, it goes there. And if you put the wrong part in the wrong place, planes crash, people die. You can't have that, right?
Right.
So, things have to be in order and they have to make sense. They have to be logical. The first thing that popped in my mind when I heard this change in your story, adding in the going to get the laptop thing, is why don't you get the gas right then? Why are we going through all of these motions to go search for a gas can,
I didn't want to pay for the gas.
And that's another theme you and I keep having. This money, money. You keep talking about money. I mean, what are we talking about? $4?
For me, it wasn't just the fact that it's $4. It's like the principle that I shouldn't have to put gas in your car. Like, we're not together. Just like I shouldn't have to pay for your cell phone if we're not together. I shouldn't, I shouldn't have to do these things for you. Like getting the laptop, I shouldn't even be doing.
But you're not. Here's the problem with that, Steve, is you're really not doing it for her. You're kind of doing it for Faith. Like I heard what you said was, look, I'm going to get a little gas can, put it in there next time because she's toting my daughter around. She'll have a can in the car.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she can maybe get gas or whatever. So really.
The thing is, I'm annoyed by the whole situation. The last thing I'm going to do is spend any money on you to put gas in your car.
All right.
So I just drive it back, and then I tell her, like, you need to put gas in your car. And we talk about, like, why you don't have gas or whatever. And she tells me I was going to get gas in the morning. And just the same stuff I've heard before.
All right, but so at that point in time now, you get back, you don't have a laptop. That couldn't have gone over very well.
Well, I explained why I didn't go get it. And, yeah, she didn't. I mean, she wasn't very happy. But once again, I think I told her the gas took more precedence, basically.
But you didn't know about the gas until after you'd abandoned the laptop
on the way
project.
Back. Yes. And that's what I told, because I come back, she'd ask, like, you don't have a laptop. And I told her, like, yeah, I didn't go get it, and you don't have any gas.
Did she get hot? Did that get heated? I mean, did she get upset?
No, I think she just kind of, like, realized it was a stupid errand to go on anyway. Because, like I said, I didn't really argue it very much, but at the same time, my whole premise was this is why. They can wait. Thanks.
All right, listen, I want to kind of talk to you about what's going on with this, okay? And I've been involved with this case from the beginning, okay? And I've seen everything that we have. I've seen all the interviews. And at this point, I know we come in and we talk to you over and over and over again. We've talked to you in Raleigh. We've talked to you here. And we've always talked about the past. What happened that night, what happened that night, what happened that night. What I want to do is I want to kind of talk to you about the future, where we're going from here. Okay. Now, you've already heard about all the stuff that we got. I mean, there's no question about what happened that night. We know that it's more than you're telling us. We know that you were involved with her death. We know that. Okay. So the question is not what happened or anything like that. What we need to understand is going forward. Okay. There's going to be a trial. Okay. There's going to be press. There's going to be everybody looking at this. You've seen how these things, they get huge. The media gets involved, and everybody's going to have an opinion about what happened. And everybody's going to have an opinion about you and your relationship and what kind of person you are. Okay. And the thing that we're trying to do here is, I talked to you earlier. You're a nice guy. I like you. I mean, I think we could be friends, in different circumstances. But here's the thing. There's going to be two narratives going forward. Okay. And what I want to do is try to give you the opportunity to kind of tell me more about what narrative actually happened. Okay. So what we're looking at is, there's the one option. Okay. And that's the option that you were kind of getting earlier when Tom was in here, which is, you planned this. You came down here with the intent purpose to hurt Tricia, that you planned to ditch her car here in some calculated way, and that you planned to go put her in a certain place that nobody could find her and all that kind of stuff. And that sounds pretty bad, right? I mean, you wouldn't agree with that. Okay. Now, the other alternative is that, and like I said, we know what happened. We know that, that something beyond what you were telling us happened in the house. But I think the more likely story is trust me, I've been here. You haven't seen me before involved in this, but I've seen you. Okay. I've done a lot of research in your background, and I know what it was like with Tricia. I know what kind of stuff you went through. I know she had a wild streak when she was younger. I know what she did. And she came after you, in that domestic thing that happened before. I know how that started. Okay. We've seen the reports. We know how it all happened. We know she went back and said, no, the whole thing was made up because she started it. Okay. What I think is to me, having known you, having known the background of everything between you and her, everybody's going to have their own opinion. But I can see that. I think probably what happened was something more like she started something that night. Okay. having known what her background was, having known how she treats you, okay, I've seen text messages. I've seen what she says to you, okay? I know what kind of stuff she's always bitching at you about stuff. I get that. I see that, okay? So I can see how that would kind of go that direction that night, all right? So what I want to do is try to set the stage so that you can actually tell the narrative about what actually happened, which is not that you planned all this, okay? Not that you planned down here to come down here and kill her and send her out into the woods like some sort of mass murderer. I mean, really? I mean, like you're going to go chop her up into little bits or something like that? I mean, that seems kind of ridiculous, okay? It seems far-fetched, like you said, okay? And I don't think you planned all this. I don't think you're capable of that, okay? I think what happens is she's trying to spend time with your daughter, okay?
It's okay. No.
But it's, and Tricia came over, but then things started getting kind of ugly. Sure, she started that. And you didn't want to get involved in that, okay? But if she starts pushing things, she's not going to back up. She's unrelenting, okay? I've seen this, okay? I've seen the history. I've seen the background of how this works, okay? So what I could see happening is that maybe she came at you and, just defending yourself, she falls. Maybe you didn't realize how hard you pushed her out of the way, but you're just trying to defend yourself. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you tried to hurt her, but I'm saying that it's clear that something happened there and that resulted in Tricia getting injured to the point where she was deceased. Okay.
What this detective was doing is called a minimization technique, one of the most powerful tools in the interrogation room. By offering Stephen a version of events that reduced his culpability, framed him as a victim of Tricia's behavior, and suggested that what happened could have been an accident, the detective was attempting to open a door through which Stephen might finally walk through with the truth. He painted a picture of a man trapped, overwhelmed, reacting, not planning, not calculating, and for someone who had been carefully managing his image as a non-confrontational, easygoing ex-husband, this was the most appealing narrative he had been offered, because it was close enough to what he wanted people to believe.
And then beyond that, I can see, putting myself in your shoes for a minute, okay? I see that you're a hard worker, okay? You've rose to the ranks. You're in the Air Force. You've been there, 11, 12 years, you said? I mean, that's a long time. That's a career. You devoted your life to that career, to this country, okay? You've got your daughter to think about, okay? Something happened. It's Tricia's own fault. Now she's gone. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. But what do you... People aren't going to believe that you weren't, planning to do this. People aren't going to believe that you weren't intending to hurt her in some way. But sometimes shit just happens. And now here it is. So now you've got to make a choice, okay? Do you call the cops and roll the dice that we're going to believe your story? Or do you try to do you go into a little bit of panic mode? And trust me, if I was in the same, I don't know what I would have done, okay? I couldn't even imagine being in that position. But I can understand going into that panic mode of, holy shit, what do I need to do now? And so your first plan, you told us that your plan was that you were just going to take her back to the house and you were going to leave her there, which I understand because she's going to be back by her house and people are going to find her and, then maybe they'll look other places, you know what I mean? And I understand that. Okay. And that's what you told us. That was kind of your first thought, but that's probably when you saw that Joshua was still home. So, and now you're not going to run the risk of him coming out when this is all going on, because that's not going to look well for you at all, right? If Joshua comes out and sees all this, he's not going to understand. He's obviously going to think that you planned this and did this intentionally. So now we're going to go back to the house, okay? And of course, Tricia, being the way she is, there's no gas in the car. Typical Tricia. And come on. How hard is it to go fill up a gas tank? Really? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. You got to think ahead about this type of stuff. I never let my gas tank go below a quarter of a tank. That's me. but I pay attention to that stuff. My wife should run that gas tank out all the time. And the next thing you know, I got to go out in the middle of the night because I got to run and get groceries or something. I'm also getting gas because she didn't think ahead about it. So now, well, obviously you can't go to the gas station in her car because she's in the car. That's not going to look good, right? So you head back to the house, and the only thing you can think of is hopefully somebody has some gas there, right? And we confirmed that. We talked to everybody. And yeah, you did. You tried to get some gas at the house. And then you decide that you're just going to have to go get gas, but now you're going to take your own car, obviously, because you don't want to be in her car. So, that's all confirmed, and that makes perfect sense. Okay. So, and then now you're going to have to go to plan B, which is, unfortunately, you're going to have to take her somewhere else because you can't risk somebody seeing you with her in the car, right? Because that's going to be too hard to explain. And it is. And now we're in this position. It's very difficult to explain, and I get that. But what we need to do is moving forward. And like I said, it's these two narratives, okay? We need to understand now what happened because we're going to write reports about this. This is all on video. This is all going to go forward into this trial. This is inevitable. I can't change this at this point. This is a boulder rolling down a hill, okay? The only thing I can do is alter the course slightly. And the only thing that I can do at this point, and like I said, I think you're a good guy. I've talked to you. You're a nice guy. Okay. I don't think that you were a cold-blooded killer who came down here with the explicit intention to murder her. Okay. I don't think that's the case. Okay. But right now, I can't say otherwise. I can't say that there was an accident because you're not telling us something other than that. Okay. We have all this evidence. And then we also have things that are not consistent. Okay, we're having inconsistencies where there's still holes, even after all of this, there's still holes in the story that we can prove through evidence that what you're telling us is not completely true. And that continues to make it look like even understanding that this has happened and it was out of your control and we know what happened, you're still trying to tell us little lies about what happened so that it makes you look better. And unfortunately, that's not going to help you because any lie at this point is going to make you look bad. And it's going to tip that boulder right back to everybody thinking, oh, well, he's a liar. He's a cold-blooded murderer. He came down here to kill her. And they're going to put you on, like these posters with all these, serial killers and stuff like that. That's not where you need to be. Okay. Sometimes people just make mistakes. Sometimes accidents happen. Sometimes things get out of control. And that's understandable, but you have to tell us that story. We have to understand what happened.
That long silence in the room was the sound of a calculation being made. Stephen Williams had managed to hold his composed exterior for hours across multiple interrogation sessions. But the cumulative weight of the evidence being laid out in front of him, the surveillance footage, the neighbor witness, the inconsistencies in his own story, combined with a detective who was offering him a narrative that painted him as someone who had panicked rather than planned, was beginning to show. And what came next was the moment the detectives had been working toward. Not the full truth. Stephen Williams was never going to give them that entirely, but something closer to it than anything he had said before.
Sometimes things just get out of hand. Okay, you'd agree with that? Sometimes, people start doing something and they cause something to happen, okay? And I'm not saying you wanted this to happen, all right? But I know you were there when it happened, okay? What we want to understand is what actually happened that night, okay? And I know you were there, and I don't believe it was your fault, okay? So what I imagine something to be, is maybe you guys got in an argument. Maybe it was over the computer. Maybe it was over the gas. Maybe it was over whatever, okay? Any little nitpicky thing that she's going to get on you about, which she always did. I get that, okay? And things got heated, okay? You're down here to try to see your daughter, okay? You're a good dad. You're trying to be down here to spend time with somebody that you care about, your daughter. And Tricia's here again, and unfortunately, I'm sure that doesn't make you feel that good. She's trying to spend time with your daughter, okay?
It's okay. No.
But it's, and Tricia came over, but then things started getting kind of, sure she started there. And, You didn't want to get involved in that, okay? But if she starts pushing things, she's not going to back up. She's unrelenting, okay? I've seen this, okay? I've seen the history. I've seen the background of how this works, okay? So what I could see happening is that maybe she came at you and, I mean, just defending yourself. She falls. Maybe you didn't realize how hard you pushed her out of the way, but you're just trying to defend yourself. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you tried to hurt her, but I'm saying that it's clear that something happened there, and that resulted in Tricia getting injured to the point where she was deceased. Okay, and then beyond that, I can see. Okay, and I want you to be able to tell the story about what actually happened and for the truth to get out there. The only thing that's going to help you at this point is the truth. And I know that the truth is not that you came home and you found her after you went to go get gas for her. I know that's not the truth. Okay, and I need you to tell us the truth so that I can tell the actual truth when we go to court, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to find out the truth about what happened. I'm not here to try you. I'm not a jury. I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I'm a detective. A detective's my sole job is to find the truth about what happened. Because once I'm done with my job, I can write the truth in my report, and I can be satisfied that I understand the entire truth. But if there's something that doesn't add up, if there's something that I know to be a lie, I have to keep digging at it, and I keep digging at it, and keep digging at it, and I have to bring that up in court because they're going to ask me, is this the whole truth? Is this what actually happened? And I'm going to have to say, I have evidence contrary to that. I know that that's not what happened, and I know he's lying. Okay? But the only person who is in that house who can tell us what happened to Tricia is you. Can't tell us what happened. But if you don't tell us the truth about what happened, it just continues to make it look like you're lying to us to cover up something more sinister, for lack of a better word. Like you intended this to happen, and now you're covering it up. And I don't want that to be the story.
It's not the story.
And I know. And that's why I want you to have this opportunity to tell me the truth about how she became injured, how Tricia lost her life. Yeah, you do. Okay. And I know that you were in the house. Like I said, I can prove.
But I didn't do anything to her.
And you're not hearing me. Okay. You're not hearing me. Okay. I'm not saying that you did anything to her on purpose. I'm not saying that you hurt her. I'm not saying that you laid hands on her. Okay. But I do know that you know what happened to her. I know that you know what happened to her. I know you were in the house. I know it. Okay, and I can prove that.
But it was
you told us I had a bag, I had clothes,
yes.
I had water,
Yeah,
I had
not
snacks.
already in there.
What?
No.
I'm saying you got the bag, and then after all this is done, all this messy business is finished. Now you get rid of that. That looks awful. That looks like a murder bag. That looks like, oh my gosh, she came down here with this bag. And I don't think it was. I think it was just a bag that you had with some stuff in it.
Yes, that's literally what it was. Just
but you need to explain
stuff that I already had.
But if that's the case, you need to explain how she got hurt. It does. It's going to.
Yeah,
because
did all the wrong things.
Because it cannot get worse than what people make up. I tell you that you would not believe people's well, you would, but I mean, people's imaginations will run wild, and they will come up with the most horrific things.
I don't even know where to. It just don't know. It just happened.
Talk to me about from midnight.
I would never text her otherwise. It was already late, and she had already left. I would have never texted her.
And you're a good dad, so you wanted it.
That's it. That's all I was trying to do, was just be a good dad. Just, okay, you want your mom? Fine. Like, I'm not going to deny you that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just come by. That's fine. And then, no, I never liked her around. I never liked being in a one-on-one situation with her because I could never predict her. I don't know the version of her I'm getting at that moment. And so, no, I never liked being in a one-on-one situation just because, just like now, there's only my word or her word or whatever. I can't change how things freaking look.
Right.
So, yeah, she came over talking about nonsense and bringing up child support. And just more stupid stuff that I just, for the most part, tried to ignore. And then, yeah, there was a mix-up with the check, but that's not my fault because you told me this was your address. So, yeah, that's where I mailed it to. And then she's telling me that's not the mailing address. So what am I? And I'm like, that's not my fault. If you told me you moved, I did the responsible thing, and I made sure the check was going to go wherever you moved to if you're not at your mom's house. And then she's just going on and on about now I owe her more money and back child support. And I'm just sitting here like, then I'll fix it. I'll send you another. I'll do something, but I don't have the money now. So just give me some time, like, because that money, since you didn't get it on time, is already spent. I spent it to come here, and now I need a little more time to get it to you. And now she's talking about how she's going to go to court and all this other stuff, and it's my fault. And I'm just like, this isn't even my fault. Like, you told me you moved, so I adjusted it. Like, just calm down. Like, this isn't even that serious. This is an easily rectifiable. Why are you getting all out of hand about this? You know?
Right.
And yeah, I know I didn't go through the court to pay child support, but every time I tried, it was she just stonewalled me. It's like, I don't want to do that because I have to pay money to send you money, which is stupid. I was like, just let me have your account information, just the account number, and I'll direct deposit it, and this will never happen. And no, that's not going to work. And we can't do that. You owe me all this money. And then she's going to go to court and make me pay all the other money from the divorce that I already took over $20-something thousand in debt that I have to pay back in 18 months. And then if I don't pay all that back, I got another $6,000 I got to pay as far as back child support. So now she's trying to say I'm going to have to pay all that back. And then she just gets on my face about it. And I'm like, what? Why are you so mad right now? Like, is it because I called you this late? It's just completely got out of hand. And then just the whole pointing and it just all went bad. It just so fast. She just went from 0 to 100. And I'm trying to understand, like, what just happened. Like, you were just here earlier. Everything was fine. You left. We're arguing about something that I'm sitting here thinking this is unbelievably trivial and this can be fixed. I can fix this by the 1st. Just give me time and I'll make sure you get the money, or I'll make it in 2 separate payments, or whatever you need me to do. And it's just not good. It's not going to work. None of this works. And she eventually falls asleep anyway, but she's still like arguing with me over in the foyer area. And I'm just like, please just leave then. Just go. No, I'm not leaving until we fix this. Like, just get out. Like, I don't know what more you want from me, Tricia. I don't have any money for you. I don't have any cash for you. I can't give you anything right now. I spent the little money I had, which is why I drove here. Fly. I didn't get a rental car like I normally do. I'm not in a hotel. Well, I don't want to do the hotel thing, but I don't have money. Like, I've paid so much money to the debt that I don't have any more money. Okay. I just don't. I am like pretty much strapped when it comes to cash, living paycheck to paycheck. And even then I'm not making it right now. And it doesn't matter. You owe me money. You need to pay your debts. This is always your fault. You're always spending more money. And it's just on and on and on to the point where now I'm just trying to like walk away. Now I can't walk away because you're circling me and you're jumping in front of my face, and it just got so aggressive, and I'm just trying to back away and de-escalate, and I can't even leave the house now. You know, I don't want to push you. I don't want to touch you. I don't want anything with you because I'm just thinking about flashbacks of before when you just blew all this shit up for no reason, and then now I'm getting arrested, but only after the fact did you go and, say that it wasn't my fault. No one else knows that now, but only after the fact that I got arrested. All I'm thinking just flashbacks. I go to push her away, and then she gets really pissed about that. And then she gets even more aggressive and in my face and pushing me back. And I'm like, would you please just stop? Like, I don't want this. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you're so mad. I don't know if you took a freaking crazy pill all the way over here, and that really pissed her off. And it just escalated. And then I just moved her away, and then she slipped. And that's when she freaking fell. And I'm like, oh shit. I asked her if she was okay. It was like a weird sound. She didn't say anything though. And then I freaking panicked. And then I just freaking panicked because I didn't try to hurt you. I just wanted you to stop being here in my face yelling at me as I'm trying to back away. I'm trying to de-escalate. I don't want whatever this is. It's not this serious. I don't know why it's so serious about this money. It's always been so like even throughout the divorce, every penny, it's just been so serious about her trying to get every dollar.
Right.
And I'm like, and now I made a mistake and I sent the check to the wrong address because I didn't know that wasn't a mailing address. And I can't explain where it is because I didn't even get it back in the mail until a week after that. And it just went so fast. And then I pushed her, and then it didn't push. I was just trying to get her away. Just please stop yelling in my face. It's like, just, you know, like if she was at that distance, fine, but she wasn't. She's just here the whole time. And I'm like, please just stop. And so I went to move her away, and she slipped and she hit her head. And I didn't mean for that. That wasn't my freaking fault. I wasn't. And then all I'm thinking is, great, now I've pushed her and she's hurt her head, and I'm done. I'm just, everything I've tried to do, everything I've tried to be is done because I made a mistake. I didn't really even lose my cool. I just tried to move you away. I just didn't.
Sorry.
I just tried to de-escalate the situation because I couldn't get out. I didn't know where to go. I couldn't even just leave. Like, all I wanted to do was just leave. I just wanted nothing to do with that.
Do you know what she hit her head on? Was it the floor or?
I don't know. She just fell, and then she wasn't responsive after that. And I didn't know what the hell to do. Because all I thought is, if I call the police now, I'm just going to say I freaking pushed her, and I'm going to jail.
So what did you do next?
I just tried to wake her. I tried to snap her out of it, and it just kept getting worse. She just wasn't responding. She made weird breathing sounds, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm going to jail. Like, I'm going to jail for killing this woman that I never wanted to hurt. Never.
And I don't think you did.
I never wanted her to be hurt. I never wished ill on her. I tried to always do right by her, no matter what the situation. I just tried to do the right thing. And all I'm thinking is, I'm going to jail for trying not to hurt you.
I mean, and that's exactly why I wanted you to tell me the truth.
I just wanted it to stop. I just wanted it to go away. I just wanted to just go back.
Okay. And that, I believe you. I believe everything that you just told me. Okay, Stephen?
It doesn't even matter.
It does. It makes a huge difference because that's what we need to do. We need to get to the truth about all that. Now you know the next question I'm going to ask you. Okay? And I know you don't want to, but we need to know where Tricia is.
I don't know, and I really don't have a freaking clue where that was. I just panicked, and I just drove.
And I
went through 1,000,001 scenarios in my head of what to do, and none of them were good. All of them just ended bad. And
okay.
I didn't pay attention to anything. I just drove, and as I drove, I didn't read any signs. I just drove, and I just tried to think of how to fix it, and I couldn't fix it. It was just bad all around, and I'm just like, no matter what, I'm screwed. Like, I am screwed no matter what. I can't go back. I can't go to the hospital now. If I do, how does that look? I don't even know what to do at this point. I'm just freaking out because I just didn't want any of this. I didn't want anything to do with any of that. I just want to be a good dad.
I get it. I understand. All right. And Stephen, I want to help you do the best you can from here. Okay? And I know shit happens. It does. It does. It happens to good people. Okay? It doesn't make you a bad person.
I don't know where she is, and I can't take you to where she is, and I'm still screwed because
we got to try to
remember that. I don't know where that was. It was just a random.
Authorities say her ex, Stephen Williams, is not a suspect and voluntarily took a polygraph test.
Witness testimony links Mr. Williams with Tricia Todd's disappearance.
Stephen Williams was ultimately sentenced to 35 years for the second-degree murder of Tricia Todd and 5 additional years for child neglect to be served at the same time.